What's up guys, Dino here, welcome back to my racing channel. Well, what a day we have to look forward to tomorrow. Racing at Kempton, racing at Doncaster, racing in Dubai. I mean, come on, you can't get any better than that. It's absolutely brilliant racing to look forward to on Saturday. Before I go into the video, any new subscribers, hit that little subscribe button, hit that bell, and you'll get all my videos from today, tomorrow, next week and next month. And I'd just like to thank the new subscriber that came onto the channel. Thank you very much appreciated. A lot of good advice coming out of this channel from myself about horse racing, and I will help everyone as much as I possibly can, as I have been done for the last probably 2 months. So, as I say, subscribe, hit the button, and you will get all my videos. Alright? So, today, you probably noticed there wasn't a video on yesterday, and the reason for that is because I was looking at the racing for Saturday, which I have spent quite a lot of time looking at Doncaster, looking at Kempton, looking at Meydan. Meydan is just incredible racing on Saturday. Absolutely incredible racing. Doncaster's good racing. There's 2 or 3 races at Kempton as well. So let's get right into it. Here we are. Kempton. You've got Kempton on the flat, Navan on the flat, Doncaster on the flat. You've got Southall at night on the flat. You've got Rose Hall, which is in Australia, on the flat. Nakayama in Japan on the flat. Meydan on the flat. St. Cloud on the flat. Or Saint Cloud, as some people would say. Santa Anita on the flat. Gulfstream on the flat. Incredible amount of racing on Saturday. But what we're going to look at first, we are going to look at Kempton, and we're going to look at the listed race, the 205 at Kempton. If it opens up. Come on, you're a bit slow. Okay, here we go. So it's a 205 at Kempton, listed race for 4-year-olds and upwards. And it's a class 1 listed race over 1 mile 2 furlongs. Now I've looked at all these, so I'm just going to briefly go into each race. 3 or 4 could win this, but as we've known in the past, we've said that before, and we've had the outsider that's won the race, which is just incredible. But when you're looking at listed races and class 1 races, I do not expect an outsider to win this. Stranger things have happened, but I don't expect an outsider to win this one. So if we go, I'm going to go to the 2 or 3 that I think will certainly win it. Matterhorn, absolutely. Fabricate, without any shadow of a doubt. And Mutasadia, I remember doing this horse last year. It's a very, very good horse. But the one I have went for in here, and I'm going to do this because there's 10 runners in the field, I'm going to do this each way, and I'm going to go for Fabricate. As you can see, there's some of them. Matterhorn has had 3 runs and is now up to an overall rating of 112, which is okay. That's a good rating. So it wouldn't be in a listed race if it wasn't a good horse. I think its last race it was in a class 2, so it's been put up to a listed race now, which I'm sure Mark Johnson knows what he's doing. So he'll certainly think that this has a really good chance of winning this race. And looking at its form, yeah, it has. It's only got 9 stone on its back, but it's got that overall rating of 112. Fabricate has been running in Group 1s, 2s and 3s. He has run in listed races as well. And there's some, as much as this is showing 24013 from last season, some of these races were group races. He's now coming back. This is his first run. Michael Bell usually usually has them fit. Him as well is on 9 stone with 110, near enough the same as Matterhorn. But the difference between the two of them is Matterhorn is an up and coming horse. Fabricate is a 7-year-old. He's ran in his group races, so he's got the experience of winning a race like this. Matterhorn hasn't. Mutasadia, quite similar to Matterhorn. He's on 9 stone 5, so he's the actual class horse of the race, believe it or not, with 110 overall rating. So these three are quite close to each other, but the one I'm going to do each way is Fabricate. And I do think if Fabricate is fit enough, he'll certainly get in the frame here, the first three. I'm hoping that he wins it, because if you do a horse each way and it wins it, you get both. So you get the winner's prize money and you also get the each way. Just remember, when you're doing it each way, if you're putting $5 on or £5 on, it costs you £10. Alright? So that's my first tip at Kempton. In the 205, 1 mile 2 furlongs is going to be Fabricate. Alright? So next up, we will go back to, we'll then go to Doncaster. And Doncaster's got a few good races here. Listed race, class 2, listed. Now the class 2 there, the Lincoln, that's the big cavalry charge over a mile straight. So yeah, I've picked one out here. But the first one we'll go to at Doncaster. Come on. We're on a go slow today, I don't know why. It was working okay, there we go. Okay, and again, Doncaster 150, 6 furlongs. I've looked at this one as well. And Equilateral, has it got a chance? Yes, that's got a chance. None of these horses, or a lot of these horses, haven't had a run. I think there's only 2 or 3 that have had a run. If we notice, there's Gorgeous Nura. Remember we done, and that just shows you Gorgeous Nura that we done a few weeks back is 12 to 1 in this range. So it just shows you how much the trainer Archie Watson, Holly Doyle on it, think that maybe they think Gorgeous Nura can get in the first 3, because there is 8-9 runners in it, and there's every possibility that that could happen. In this race, you've certainly got 4, 5, 6 even that could win this. So again, this is going to be an each way bet that I'm going to do here. And again, these 3 horses here are quite close, not just only in weight, but in races that they've ran in. But the each way horse that I'm going to do in this race is going to be Arbalete, James Doyle and Hugo Palmer. Top jockey, top trainer. Again, even though the figures here 71523, he's ran some big races in this. Big races, Arbalete. So that's going to be my each way in the 150 at Doncaster. Again, it's a listed race, class 1 for 3-year-olds and up. Has Equilateral got a chance? I would think Equilateral, if it's fit, Invincible Army, if it's fit, Arbalete, if it's fit. We all know that Gorgeous Nura will be fit. Bucharest, if it's fit. There's horses here that have got a big chance in here if they're fit. And they're all quite closely rated to each other. But the one I like is Arbalete, each way to come in the first 3. That's a 150 at Doncaster. Now the other one at Doncaster, which is going to be the Lincoln that we'll look at, which is the 22 Cavalry Charge. And I know that I've said to you, stay away from the big races, but it's like the Grand National. You can't stay away from the Grand National. You've got to put a bet on. And again, see if I'm being honest, there's at least 10 in here that could win this. Easy. 10 that could win this. 12 and that could win it. This race alone, once I looked at a lot of the horses, I nullified quite a lot of them, basically saying no, that's not going to win it, that's not going to win it. But I got it down to 10, then I got it down to 5, and then I got it down to 3. Now, the one I'm going to pick here, and there's a big huge factor in here, huge factor, that some of you might think, don't know about that. But the big factor is I'm going to go with Auxerre. Now, Auxerre's been running in Class 2s, but this is a different kettle of fish Class 2. You've got 22 runners in there. If you get boxed in, or if you're in behind a wall of horses and you don't get out, anything can happen when you've got 22 horses. But Auxerre, Charlie Appleby, James Doyle. Now, as much as its form is good form, along with about another 10 of them, but with Meydan running, now you'll see in a minute the prize money at Meydan, which is absolutely incredible. The prize money for this big race at Doncaster is only 62,250. Now, James Doyle, who runs for Charlie Appleby, who's a jockey for Bin Surur, if he thought that this horse didn't have a chance of winning, do you honestly think that James Doyle would be over here rather than being in Dubai, excuse me, getting on a couple of side Bin Surur horses, Charlie Appleby horses, as I'll show you later on. That is a big factor for me, James Doyle being here or being in Doncaster tomorrow, riding this horse. I know he's got a couple of other races at Doncaster, but he could earn easily on one horse in Dubai. If he was to get one ride in Dubai and win on it, he'd earn a lot more than 62,000 guaranteed just for one horse. So my way of thinking is, as much as I've checked the form and the going and the horse itself, it's been running in Class 2s, etc., along with other horses, but I truly believe that Charlie Appleby thinks this will win it tomorrow, and James Doyle would not be at Doncaster if this did not have a chance. So you're going to think I'm absolutely bonkers in thinking that I'm picking Auxerre to win the Lincoln in a 22 runner field. Absolutely bananas. But I do not think that this guy here would be here unless he thought that this horse has got an outstanding chance of winning it. Plain and simple. So that's my winner of the Lincoln. You don't have to do it winning, you can do it each way. If I was you, ladies and gents, I'd be doing it each way, because you'll probably get the first 4, maybe even the first 5, seeing it's 22 runner field. So if you did it each way, as long as your horse comes in the first 4 or first 5, you'll get money back. But just check that out when you're putting your bet on. But I think with this man being here and all the money that's over in Dubai, he must strongly fancy Auxerre to win this. Alright, so what we'll do now is we will go to Meydan. So that's 3 tips, 1 at Kempton, 2 at Doncaster. Look at this racing at Meydan. Absolutely incredible racing. Again, I've checked all this. I seen Meydan the last time it was on 3 or 4 weeks ago, and some of the horses that ran then are running now. And just remember, you've got the big race at the end, the Dubai World Cup. So I'm going to go quickly through these, because I'm going to give you a tip for every single race. Wow. Wow, I hear you say. Every race. Okay, here's the first one. Again, 3 or 4 could win this. Forget this 8 to 11 Muntaza price wise, because Heavy Metal is a very good horse. Cold Front's a very good horse. Major Partnership's a good horse. There's a few horses in here that could win this, but going on form and doing your homework, the horse that I'm going to pick has got to be Muntaza. It's got to be. I will be very disappointed if that doesn't win it. Its form's good. It's beaten horses in this field before. It's only got 9 stone. It's only 116. So it's certainly ahead of a lot of the horses in this. So Muntaza in the 12.15 at Meydan will be my tip. We will quickly go to the 12.50 as they come thick and fast. And just to show you the prize money, look at the prize money on show here. £708,000. £708,000. Group 2. Now this race was a little bit more difficult because a lot of horses again have ran against each other. Their weights are slightly different. This is going to be on the turf, and again 5 or 6 could come out of this and win this easily. Cross counter, if it's fit, if that's fit, it's got an outstanding chance of winning it. Ispolini, again, we know that will be fit. That's got an outstanding chance of winning. Call the Wind. That to me is the dark horse of the race. So what I'm going to do is, I was all for cross counter earlier on, but the more I looked at the race, the more I felt being dragged towards Call the Wind. So I'm going to do Call the Wind each way, because there's plenty horses in this, 10 horses in it. So I'm going to do Call the Wind each way, but I do think if cross counter is fit, then that could possibly win it, especially at only having 8 stone 9 on its back. It's got an overall rate of 117, whereas Call the Wind has got 115 with 9 stone 1. But I'm going to do Call the Wind each way in the 12.50. Next is going to be the 130. Come on. Speed up, please. Thank you. There we go. So, in the 130, if this doesn't win, Blue Point, it's got to win. Not just because of the betting here. This is a top horse. And if this horse is going to go places, I know it's won its first 2 races, but I expected it to win its first 2 races. It's now running in its Group 1 at Meydan, over 6 furlongs. This boy's got to win. It's as simple as that. Probably only took me about 5 minutes to do this race, and it was nothing to do with the prices, because I still looked at a good 5 or 6 horses, and as much as there's horses in there, I just can't see anything beating Blue Point. I just can't see anything beating it. So in the 130 at Meydan, the horse I'm going to do on the nose is Blue Point. So quickly go to the 205. And you're probably saying, my goodness, a tip for every single race. Yeah, a tip for every race, but they've all got to either come in each way or they've got to win. Now before I look at this one, don't need that. Before we look at this one, look at the prize money. Over £1 million. £1 million for a race. Wow. Now this is probably the most difficult one. Divine Image will be fit, outstanding chance. Jabba will be fit, again, outstanding chance. Walking Thunder, to me, is a dark horse, will be fit, outstanding chance. So on and so on. Again, 5 or 6 in here that's got a chance without any shadow of a doubt. But the one that I'm going to do each way is Walking Thunder. I seen it run the last time, it was second, and it was a bit unlucky. You've now got the main man on it, Mr. Dettori, and I think Walking Thunder each way in the 205 at Meydan. Okay, we'll swiftly move on to the 240. I wish this would speed up, come on. Thank you. So again, we've got over £1 million for this, and this is probably another difficult one. XY Jet, seen that running the last time. Very good horse, good jockey on the back of it as well. Imperial Hint, Mr. Ortiz, good jockey. Promise Fulfilled. That could be the dark horse. Drafted is a good horse. So this is another difficult race. But again, I'm going to go each way, and I'm going to go with Drafted each way. As I say, I looked at the form and they're all quite close to an extent. Imperial Hint is probably the horse that will probably win it. But because they're all on 9 stone, 115 overall rating, 120, which is huge, 117. Drafty's only got 111, so he's got a wee bit to prove against these big boys. But I think he can improve, so if he can get into the first 3, that's what I'm doing. Drafted each way in the 240 at Meydan. We then go to the 320, and I'm sure the 320 prize money is huge. Look at that prize money. Almost £3 million. Just absolutely bananas. So in this race, again, you've got a good race, a good bunch of horses. 4 or 5 could win it. Forget these prices. 4 or 5 could win this. Almond Eye has got to be the one horse that will probably win this. Not just because it's won all its races, it's the way it's won its races. It's not got an overall rating of 124 for nothing. Dream Castle, again, it's going to be fit. It's won its first 3 races, and good races at that. Deirdre with 6, that will be fit, so that could be a danger. Here's one for Mr. O'Brien and Ryan Moore, I Can Fly. It's had 1 race and won it, so you know that's going to be fit. Here's our old pal Wooton that we done the other week, finished second behind Dream Castle. But I felt Wooton, if it maybe went another 100 yards, possibly could have got a lot closer to Dream Castle. So there's 5 or 6 in here that could win it. But the one I'm going to do to win it, if this is fit, it'll win, in my opinion. Almond Eye to win the 320 at Meydan. So we go to the second last race of the Meydan, which is outstanding racing, group races flying all over the place. So we go to the second last race, and it's going to be another each way horse. Old Persian, big danger. Mr. Buick, Charlie Appleby again. Rio de Oro, another danger. If it's fit, it'll give this boy a race. But the one I'm going to go each way again is Mr. Ryan Moore, Aidan O'Brien on Magic Wand. You've got an Aidan O'Brien horse at 8 stone 8. and it's got an overall rating of 114. We all know how good Magic Wand is. It's whether it can challenge these two boys. And I think Magic Wand could challenge these guys. Alright, so again, it's Magic Wand each way in the 4 o'clock at Meydan. And now to the big one. What have I done? I hear you all say in the big World Cup race at Meydan. Well, 4 or 5 again. I've looked at the race, and this was the one race that I really stood out and took my time with. Could I split 4 or 5 of them? Nope. This to me is a tough nut to crack. Yoshiba, if this is fit, could have a big chance in it. Seeking the Soul, again, it's going to be fit. We all know Thunder Snow, who won it last year. It ran a disappointing race in second, which was behind Capizano. So we know after 3 weeks, Thunder Snow is going to be fit. This boy obviously is going to be fit, and North America is going to be fit. What do I do? Well, you're probably going to think I'm mad, but I'm going to do Thunder Snow to win the Dubai World Cup. It can't possibly run another bad race that it did its first time out. It's had 3 weeks. I'm sure Mr. Saeed bin Sarour will have put as much work into this horse as possible, just like the others. North America's big danger. You've got a Richard Mullen, UK jockey, on the back of it. But I just feel if this boy turns up, Thunder Snow, I'm hoping that he wins it. But as I say, there's 4 or 5. This took me a little while, and I broke it down to 4 or 5, broke it down to 3, and I couldn't split 3 horses. But in the end, I've went for Thunder Snow to win the Dubai World Cup again. Alright, so that's all the tips for today. You've got a tip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tips in Meydan, some each way, some on the nose. You've got a tip at Kempton, and you've got 2 at Doncaster. 11 tips all in all. Let's see how well we've all done, because that's why I didn't have a video yesterday, and this is why this one's lasted a little bit longer, because yesterday I was looking at it, studying the form as you do, because there's going to be races on dirt, there's going to be races on turf, not just at Meydan but at Kempton. So I've taken my time with it, I've had a look at it, and we'll just see how well we do. 8 tips at Meydan, 2 at Doncaster, 1 at Kempton, 11 horses. Let's just see how close we can get. Some are in there at winners, some are in, or hopefully winners, and some are in there at each way. Alright, don't miss this. Doncaster, Kempton, Meydan, fabulous racing on Saturday, and don't forget you've got Ascot and Doncaster on Sunday, which I will be looking at tomorrow. But let's hope we can get a few of these horses that we've pointed out, winners or each ways, and let's make a bit of money here. Alright, have a good weekend, enjoy the racing tomorrow, and I will be back with another video very, very soon. Take care.